So Anna Kasparian of the Young Turks attacked AOC. For those who don't know, both of these people are pretty left-wing, or considered to be left-wing in the public's eye. Most right-wingers, any right-wing pundit would call AOC a communist who defends Hamas. So to hear that she is this like Israel bootlicker from Anna and they're attacking each other seems odd. So to start off, the tweet that started off and everyone's going crazy about is Anna said, "Hey, you voted to send money to Israel." Alexandra Ocasio-Cortez said, "No, I didn't. Those checks don't cash themselves, and you aren't talented enough to be relevant with the truth." Obviously, bar, crazy good bar. But it's not just me glazing AOC. AOC has a voting record where she has supported the ceasefire. She seems to be more on the Palestinian side than on the Zionist side. And many would even call her someone who's an anti-Semite. Yet when she is being called out for funding the Iron Dome, I don't look at that and think, oh, this person is a Zionist. I think of someone who has a little bit more nuance. AOC is not perfect, and maybe that wasn't the right move. But to me, I don't look at that and think, okay, she is then bad, evil, I hate her. I look at the Iron Dome funding as an incentive to show that if you vote against every other bill, just blindly throwing money at Israel, you are taking a stand against the genocide because you're trying to incentivize a more defensive approach. If they have the Iron Dome, they feel less inclined to attack Palestine. Does it mean it's going to be a one-for-one perfect bill and it's going to work? No, it's more nuanced than that. But I can see a step forward. I can see being a politician and trying to make that middle-of-the-road compromise. So I don't look at AOC, even though I'm not the biggest fan of that. I still see the thought process of like the Iron Dome seems to be something that we should stand behind if we want to incentivize a more peaceful position with Israel versus Palestine. And all that to say is Anna being so like fire filled against AOC seems really odd because she also recently was on a tour debating these right wingers. But when she debated a lot of these people, she seemed to have the kid gloves on where she wasn't attacking them. Nowhere in these interviews and debates that I saw of her were she attacking Israel, saying these people like Ben Shapiro were like, hey, you're this big freaking Zionist, I hate you. It was like nice and being cool with them. I'm not saying she has to be a dick, but it just seemed like that same fire, that same vitriol was not there. And I don't even expect her to do that, but it's just odd when she attacks somebody who's pretty on top, whereas her colleagues are not. And I'm not saying the bar should be that low and we should just kiss AOC's ass, but I feel like there's other people to attack. And even me talking about this, I feels like take away from the main fucking elephant in the room of Donald Trump, who is the biggest Zionist, and his party seems to further what's going on in the Middle East to the point where it's so fucking bad. We're not even talking about Palestine anymore. Like, I just don't feel like we're shooting at the right targets here, and it's very disappointing for Anna to see this approach.